Here we go. A new episode with Andriy from Crowdin. He is the master of the Crowdin universe. He's always explaining how to work on projects and how can I make the most use of the features. You can watch all this in different speeds. You will find it down here in YouTube. You will get the most interesting stuff in 15 minutes and your month is done with Crowdin. A lot of features we will always see here. So back to our show, back to Andriy. Take us away. We are heating up today with the latest updates from your team, from Crowdin. Andriy, what do we talk about today?
Today, we will have two screenshots, centralized topics, simple term extractor. Now it has got some extra functionality, so now it's even smarter. And possibility to share your integration application in Crowdin with other managers. That's something important. Yeah, and I wanted to mention that it always makes sense to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thanks a lot. We can start from here. So idea here is that, for example, you know that Crowdin has lots of different connectors. Connector with Zendesk, with Salesforce, with Contentful, and others. So these connectors, how they usually work? Let's say I'm a manager. I go here. Some admin installed this app, so I can open it. I will need to connect. So this is my test instance, and I connected it. But it means that I connected it, and others cannot use it. Other managers, I mean, in the project. So earlier it was like mandatory that another person, your colleague, who will also have the access to Crowdin, they also need to open same connector page. They need to pass authorization first. So it means that they should have account in HubSpot, in Zendesk, in Salesforce, and only then you can use the connector. Now we allow you, if you wish, you can share your connector. I want this manager to have the access to this integration. And it means that when senior manager will sign in, they won't need to pass this authorization hell again. They will just open integrations, go to Zendesk Guide, and they will see same UI. They will see your settings. It's also actually important because imagine one manager enabled 1 hour sync, another manager enabled 6 hours sync, and then people won't know what's happening, why translations are downloaded in different periods of times. But now everyone will see same settings and autosync, for example. So if you enable autosync, others will see that autosync is enabled for these files, so they also won't enable it again on their side.
Yes. Good. So basically there's one manager who can control the settings and the rest can use them, right?
Yeah. I truly hope that users will love this improvement. It's important to mention that in order to make it work, you will need to sign out because some users already may use Zendesk or some other connectors, so they need to log out and log in again to make it work.
Okay, so Zendesk users, Salesforce users, remember, log out, log in again. One single person has to set up the integration, and from this point on, everybody can use it who has permissions. Great, cool, nice. Shall we move on?
Yes, next topic about screenshots. In short, idea is that now Crowdin allows you to automatically capture and send screenshots from your in-context environment. For people who did not see Crowdin in context live, I will quickly show you the idea. In short, idea is that you can do translations live on the site. We select any item and we can submit translation and we can see it live. And now when you connect this mode to your site, it will be possible to capture screenshots of your pages and send them to Crowdin. But mainly, I think that one main advantage it's about mobile
apps, right?
Android, iOS is coming soon, but Android is already prepared, and we can quickly see results on the video. So idea is that nowadays it's possible to have a script that will click through all sections, pages of your application, and it will capture screenshots. And all screenshots will be auto-synced to Crowdin, and also they will be tagged automatically.
This also works on websites, on dashboards?
Yes, because it's also integrates a part of contextual, so it can be also automated string context. We just need to follow the guide that you will find in the technical documentation.
There's no excuse to not offer screenshots anymore or context for translators.
Context matters. Yes, please always provide a context.
About the mobile app string, I remember when we started at Beluga doing translation work, like for mobile application, it was a real headache to get screenshots and to do revision with screenshots. So the tools we were using for automation of screenshots were all expensive, third party, hard to integrate, and it didn't turn up in the editors we were working with. So what I see here is it's pushed again, everything in the hands of the localization managers. It's controllable in a very easy way. And this is so cool because it will, the more we can streamline it, the better we get the context right. Translators will see the screens and get a feeling of good localization.
Yes, and you work on new updates for your app, new sections are added, so you can from time to time run the script and it will add these new screenshots to Crowdin. Yes, the feature is technical, but extremely useful.
Excellent. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, test it out. Leave your comments here in the video. Now, talking about screenshots and context, I've seen one more point here on the long table of content, which is actually adding context and maximum length to the strings. Show us how this works.
It's simple, but at the same time, when I saw it live, I realized that it's actually very, very convenient improvement. You know how screenshots work in Crowd. So we can use auto tag. So Crowdin is able to recognize texts on screenshots and all matches will be automatically linked. So we will be searching for no extra cost in your file, let's say in Android XML, and they will be linked. But for example, here, you already see that no extra cost. We don't have quite a lot of space here. So we cannot allow the translators to specify 50 characters in this place. We can now, after we tagged strings, there is also a filter available, so you can easily
the search option, for
strings.
example, right?
Yeah, search options, you can filter tagged strings, and now what has changed, what's new here, is that you can click on this pencil icon near tagged string. This is the string from your file. And here, when you hover on it, you can see the identifier of the string that is connected. And now when you click on the pencil icon, you see this magic pop-up where we can specify max length. Let's say, you know that it should not be longer than 20 characters. We can add it. Also, labels. If you use labels, you can pre-configure them in your project, and you can use labels as well. And then when we save changes, that's it. So now Crowdin knows that translation for this phrase should not exceed 20 characters, and that will...
And this is new. Sorry that I interrupt, but this is new because before the way to add text lengths was actually on the string level, right? You uploaded the screenshots, you tagged them, but you were not able to add any string lengths. You had to go back to the strings and from the editor view, go into the settings of the string, or let's say the metadata, right? Here it is, and enter it from here, which is sort of far away, right?
Yes. And you had to keep at least 2 tabs opened in this case, or close, screenshot, go back. Yes, it actually saves quite a lot of clicks and time. Small but very, very useful improvement.
I saw this video from your colleague about Crowdin screen translation feature. There was one option actually that was a project language page view. So the way you translate in the editor is usually by strings, and then you have the context view. Then you can see the image and. But you can also turn it around and say, I don't want to see the strings. I want to translate from the screenshots as a basis. So we have screenshots from the whole application online. Then this is very powerful, just to switch it around and translate everything from the screenshots view and not other way around. And I like that feature quite a lot. I think it's very useful for some projects to work from the screenshots instead of having the strings visible to the translators.
There is also, it's not that new, but there is also screenshots preview application that is a bit related to the topic. So idea here is that when you open a screenshot with a tagged string, then here you will, my screenshot is quite large, but you may notice it's actually in Ukrainian. So original text was in English, but now when I type a translation, you can see that I don't know how it works. It's some screenshot magic here happening. But yeah, you can also preview it here. So we can still work on the resource files, but instead of, because how screenshots are usually shown, if we won't use this app, then screenshot will be
like
here,
very tiny,
and it will be highlighted. But with this application, you can still efficiently work on the source, and you can also preview how your translation looks like.
That's super powerful. I like it. I think many people have to discover a couple of applications you have in the store. So today we have this one as a goodie for all our viewers.
It's named Screenshots Preview. So when we search for screenshots, we can find it here. And we added some filters. So it's something that can also help you to find area that interests you the most. And personally, what I do from time to time is that I sort apps by date published. I filter everything.
Cool.
And this way we can see all latest features, because it's just impossible to make a short recording and describe all of these apps. But it's something that I do usually on a weekly basis. I'm checking what's new here.
The latest. And I see back translations. This is on our list today as well.
Yes, that's pretty new thing. The idea of this app is quite simple and it's very helpful. For example, I have English project. I already did all translations, but I'm not sure about exact quality of these translations. What you can do after you install this back translation and then assign it to the project, it will appear here. And
this is just for our viewers. It's on the left-hand side, on the very button of settings. Okay? It's file, down the last position.
I will zoom in a bit. Yes.
Perfect.
It's here. So on the file processors, we will find a back translation app. And first we enable it. Then we can select a prompt that will be used for back translation. For example, the idea is that when I download Ukrainian translation, it will be translated back to English. So this way we can see, if we see that English texts look fine, it's a good indicator that your translation quality is also fine. This thing is quite useful. Idea here is that when you have some strings untranslated, there will be this sign near them. So
Okay.
let's submit changes, and I will have to demonstrate it better. I will have to delete a translation. I cannot delete Crowdin translation, but I will do this. We will delete 2 translations for
Okay.
this phrase, and now we go back. If I'm not mistaken, it will even work this way. Most likely, yes. The reason why download takes so much time, because without back translation, this file would be exported within like half a second. But currently, more complex processes are happening behind the scenes. Crowdin is talking to AI, and it's telling that translate Ukrainian back to English. And now I truly hope I won't have that demo effect, so something will break. But
No problem at all. We can slow down the video.
now it worked. Thanks a lot. That's a good idea, but I see it worked finally. So I can show you what has happened. You remember I deleted the translation for home and camera, so we can see this sign that we've seen earlier. And all other strings, they are translated to English. So now we can compare. I also have some idea how can we evolve this application that it can also somehow generate some kind of CSV probably file. So we can see a column with original English and then translated English, and you can compare them where you see inconsistencies. But this way, we can already see if we see that AI, well, I would say even this, I remember we have exactly, it's specified exactly this way on the site, AI as empty, so it did job great. There might be some minor inconsistencies, but of course, if you find something very inconsistent, it means that either translation is bad or it's probably outdated. So it might be a good extra step to quality assurance checks.
So again, it's a quality check. It's for the project managers to have certain control about the languages they don't speak and to just check does it make sense or not, right? And I see your point with a CSV file. It's easier to read in a CSV file if it does make sense or not for somebody who's not tech. Andriy, we have one more point, which is a simple term extractor. And it said there are improvements.
Yes, we do have a small improvement for the app. I can say that it's actually quite important improvement that simplifies your work with the app. What was that? Here, nothing has changed a lot. Like usually, you can specify the project, file, or files that should be analyzed. And here we can specify AI extraction. Important thing that what I noticed, most likely others who use application already will need to do the same. I suggest to recreate a prompt because it feels like something was also improved here. And you can go to prompts here, and I suggest even if you have one, I suggest to delete existing prompt and then create a new one. And the change that was made, now when we add a new glossary, the system automatically tries to guess the language of the term. Also, part of speech is prefilled, type is prefilled, and you can specify status if you wish. Gender is also detected. So it means that I hope that in most cases you will just need to quickly verify, yeah, it's good. You click add, and you can go to some next term. You click again, and again, language is detected. So now I think the number of clicks is again minimized.
This is good. It gets us faster to a list of terms without having to select everything manually. AI can do it, and you can correct it.
Yeah, you have control, so you can usually, from what I did quite many tests, it was detecting these types quite nice. So it looks like AI works pretty well for that purpose.
Is there anything else you were excited about during this?
Yes, there are many other apps, but we want to make it short and efficient. So what I also noticed is about this application was also added better fallback. It feels quite interesting to me because imagine that your workflow is the following. Your source language is Chinese, for example. You do translations to English, probably you do proofreading to English. We have to update. Please don't. Let's imagine that this is Chinese. Here.
Okay.
Now, so I have to remove other languages. Now we have switch source language in the workflow. So system allows you to switch the source language to English, and then let's say we do Chinese to English, then English to other languages. And for example, we will cover French, German, Portuguese, and after the translation is done, we will be delivering translations. So imagine the case that you have basically everything translated in English, because actually only when English translation is done, you will see something to be translated in Portuguese. But you have not fully translated Portuguese yet, because translator was on vacation, and you still have 20 untranslated segments. End users who know Portuguese, probably they won't be that excited to see original Chinese texts as a fallback, because that's the default logic of the platform, that it will use original source language of the project as a fallback for all untranslated strings. You want to display exactly English to your translators. So that's why I find this application extremely useful. So if I reload again and open it, so we can specify that if something is untranslated, I want to get English in
Instead
other
of
languages.
Chinese.
So yes,
that's great. I mean, again, we're looking
simple
at
but useful app.
Yeah, great. I mean, that's why we are talking, in order to have this inside view in what's going on Crowdin. And Andriy, thanks a lot for bringing your time, your wisdom, and your expertise again to the show. Do you think there's a lot of new stuff coming up?
Yeah, yes, we do not pause development. Yes, every day something is going on. So I'm sure that we will have enough things to be discussed in January.
Excellent. I'm very much looking forward to it. Andriy, thanks a lot. I wish you a Merry Christmas, good holidays, and
Merry Christmas.
See you again in 2025.
Next year. Yeah, we will see.
Next year. Andriy, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you, Jan. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.